Hello everybody! Today I wanted to do a devlog on my rigging add-on, and let me just demonstrate it real quick. So say we wanted to bring in like a human leg that had stretchable capabilities. We could press a generate rig, which would create all the rig shapes up here, which is really nice. Now typically this will be hidden with the TV, so then it doesn't affect performance or anything like that, and then you would hide the render as well, so then when you do that it's just invisible behind the scenes, that kind of jazz. And then what we could do after that is you could then take your parts and align it to like a leg or something, put this heel bone right where the heel should be, position it all up good, and then we take this, position this where the knee is, so we get some sort of setup like this. And what makes this add-on a lot of fun to mess with is you don't have to really worry about how your bones are positioned, because then it just kind of figures out the correct way to put them. So if I were to just straight up run this, you can see it created all the constraints and everything we could need for our stretchy bone rig. And we could then weight paint something to this, but it'd be better to weight paint it before that. So really what we could do is we could just create a foot and shift S, cursor to selected, and then just go to object mode. Let's make a foot from a skin multiplier. So we just put a cube in here, right? We can go tab A and then merge it center, right? And we can put the modifier for skin on here, so put a skin or modifier on, go to object mode and add a subdiv here. And once I've done that, we can just go ahead and start creating our little foot here. So we want to create the leg, knee, and stuff like that. So then drag this guy a bit forwards, subdivide here. And for this add-on, I kind of want to make it so that way we can have mechanical rigs, scenery rigs, environmental rigs that you could just plop in here, right? It's like whenever you're selecting on this armature, you could pick a genre that you want. Perhaps we have some dragon rigs in here. I don't have any set up right now. I just have the legs set up because I wanted to get all the bugs out of the way before creating more scripts for these legs and stuff. So we can then get a rig right here, and we just straight up start positioning it, and we don't need to be all that careful really. So we can just take this guy and we can position them one at a time if we like, and just kind of bring them over here, make sure this is where the heel should be, so probably right about here, right? Take this guy, kind of drag it down, put it right here in the middle, and we don't have to worry about the roll either. The add-on automatically calculates the correct roll for our bone. So we could just go ahead and position this. You might use the volume snapping or whatever method you typically like, but I want this add-on to be just like if you were doing your default rigging setup. I just want to make that process a lot easier, because I find it to be nice to do manual rigging and such. I just prefer that sort of rigging over Auto Rig Pro and stuff like that, and so I wanted this add-on to kind of envision that basically. So now we can take this guy and we could apply our skin, our subdiv, and we could just weight paint this guy real quick with automatic weights. What we could do here is we can then just generate the constraints, and you can see that it actually conforms constraints to how we position the bones, which is the biggest benefit of this. So then you can position the bones however you like and have a leg setup that you like, and then we can like have all the constraints that we're supposed to with this. And I tell you, this rig setup right here for this leg typically takes me around an hour and a half to set up, of which I can do it on multiple legs, so you don't have just one at a time, right? That's one thing about this add-on too. You can actually just straight up duplicate this. So say we had a 6 leg setup on both sides, we could just go RZ and then Shift DY, RZ, and you could reposition these however you like. This rig in particular by default is left and right associated, which means if I were to turn on the names, you can see we got the _L_L.003 and such like that, right? What we could do here is we could then press A, symmetrize, and with this setup right here, it will add the constraints to all of these. So if we go down here, we run, and now we get a setup on every single one of these bones. let me turn off the name so that way they're not in the way. But not only that, it also sets up your bone collections as well. So we could drop down here and say we didn't want to see the deforming bones and we didn't want to see the setup bones. We could turn both of those off, and now we have our IK and such visible. Of course, with that leg we're not going to see anything, but if we got this guy, we just have our IK and FK visible. Now oh, actually that's a bug right there. You see how the this bone is the deforming thigh bone, which is also the one that has our IK FK swap on it. So if you go up to item properties, we got IK FK, so we can swap. And there's actually one other bug that I did not account for right there, and you can see the IK is working right, but I haven't done the testing with the FK, so that's a bug to be worked out. Love finding bugs, that's for sure. But it seems the knee is actually working, so it's just a foot roll and such thing, which is fine. But that's where that is. We can click up here, turn that back to 0, and say we wanted to go into the controllers, turn off the FK now, we could just click that, and then of course the deforming bone. So now we only have this. But say we wanted to turn it off on specific bones, we actually get all the IK legs in their own collection, so we can turn off each leg specifically, and it's really nice since it sets it all out through the code. Alright, so now onto the next part of it. Let's go talk more about the sewed modular rigs add-on down here. That's the name for it. It's actually basically like the default Blender UI where you can just drag it around. So say you wanted to move it up or down, you can just plop it wherever you like, minimize it just like usual. It has the same outline, and you can refresh and such. But what's really nice about this is you can pick your module section. So what that means is right now you can see all of these folders right here. We can drop them down and pop them up and such. But say we only want to be in the human body and we don't want to worry about any of this other stuff, we can actually just click open folders and find human body, except right here, and then we only have the two that's inside of the human body, which means that if you didn't want to see all the other bloatware, or you had different folders with the rig setups that you want or such like that, you could easily go between them, like if you had favorites or something. And to set this up, if I find the folder, we go to here, and let's see here, we can go to rigging armatures. This is how that's set up. So if we were to go into human body, you could see the ones over here, but how does it pop in the parts? That's what's fun about this. So right now I'm creating a bone data folder and a bin folder. So the bin folder right here is for creating the custom shapes that we saw just generate in like this. That's what that bin folder is for. And then we have the bone data, and that's what's for generating in the actual base armature. So if I control Z here for a bit, that generates these guys right here whenever you click the get rig. And this is also another bug I have to fix, that it keeps on going. It should detect that they exist, basically, of which it's not doing yet, which is fine. You can also select all scripts. So let's refresh this. Oh yeah, we're in the right spot. So when you select all scripts, it'll select everything in every folder as well. So you go deselect all scripts or select all. Deselect all would be nice if you accidentally selected a bunch in here or something and you just want to clear out all their selections, right? You just go deselect and you're all good. Now say you wanted to do it with a single folder, you can press select here, whether it's closed or open, select, deselect, and you could select them all here. Now, what is this select actually used for? Is actually used to run all selected. So say you had a rig with multiple modules, so right now we just have the leg, right? But say we had a spider body with spider legs, and then we had a human upper half. We could say spider body is one module, spider legs are another module, and then the upper half is the human back module, which might have a human head or something, but that'd probably be a separate module too. And basically, you could then have all those selected in here whenever you do get rig, right? So if I unselect these and I do get rig, it auto selects this for you, so then when you need to create the constraints, you can just press run all scripts, and then it will do all that goodness for you, which is fantastic. And it doesn't matter if your folder is closed or not, so if you control Z that and you just do this, run all scripts, it keeps it in there. And it's also persistent, so if you were to crash, like Blender were to crash, then it would still have your selection in here and you wouldn't have to worry about that, which is the other nice part about this. But that just about covers everything. So let me know in the comments what you think about it. I know I'm really excited about my own rigging add-on, and I'm definitely gonna be using it because this saves me so much time. Like this leg rig taking an hour and a half, typically bringing it down to like 1 second. I'm like, you know, that just makes me so excited because it's a rig design that was difficult for me to make. That's why it takes so long, and now we're just poofed it into existence. But thank you guys for watching. I'll be posting more devlogs on this as it progresses, so I hope you stay tuned for that, and you all have a wonderful day.